Throughout the fabric of human history, there have been whispered truths, secret teachings, and hidden mysteries. Things too profound, too dangerous, or too sacred to be revealed openly. These are the ancient whispers that rise to the veils of time, speaking of realms beyond ordinary perception, of portals to otherworldly knowledge, and of extraordinary powers hidden within the human body. At the heart of these teachings lies a secret so profound, so intensely powerful, that it has been veiled for centuries. It is a key to unlocking a deeper, more profound experience of reality, a key that resides within each of us, waiting to be awakened: the pineal gland. For centuries, the pineal gland, the small, pine cone-shaped organ nestled deep within the center of your brain, has been revered, feared, and revered again by those who understood its immense significance. Known to some as a third eye, it has been depicted across cultures as the seat of spiritual awakening, higher consciousness, and the gateway to realms unseen by the naked eye. The ancient Egyptians called it the Eye of Horus, a symbol of enlightenment and divine vision. Hindu mysticism speaks of it as the Ajna chakra, the center of intuition, wisdom, and inner sight. Yet, despite its profound importance, the pineal gland's power has been suppressed, distorted, and hidden, kept secret for reasons that go beyond simple curiosity. What is it about this tiny organ that has attracted so much mystery, and why has its true potential remained concealed for so long? Could it be that the pineal gland holds a secret to unlocking realms of reality that are beyond our ordinary understanding? Could it be that within this small, unassuming gland reside a mechanism capable of altering our perception of reality, opening the doors to hidden dimensions, and connecting us to higher states of consciousness? And more importantly, could learning how to activate this hidden organ truly cause reality to bend to our will? To answer these questions, we must first approach the pineal gland not as a mere biological structure, but as a bridge, a conduit between the physical and the spiritual, the conscious and the subconscious, the material and the metaphysical. The pineal gland, in its purest form, is a seat of the soul, as many ancient cultures have called it. It is through this tiny organ that we may access not only our deepest intuition, but also the keys to unlocking the hidden dimensions of existence. The teachings that unlock the pineal gland are not just about activating a biological organ. They are about aligning ourselves with the deepest currents of universal truth. These teachings, long concealed by the powers that seek to control human consciousness, are not simply practices or techniques. They are doorways to a profound awakening. The process of unlocking the pineal gland is an invitation to step into a new paradigm of existence, one where we can begin to perceive beyond the limits of ordinary perception. It is a call to remember who we truly are, to reconnect with the ancient wisdom that lies dormant within us, and to awaken to the vastness of the universe and our place within it. Yet, despite its vast potential, this knowledge has been suppressed, hidden in the shadows, kept secret by those who understand that awakening to the full power of the pineal gland would mean liberation from control. The powers that be, throughout history, have understood the threat of an awakened population, one that no longer sees the world through a narrow lens of societal conditioning. To activate the pineal gland is to liberate oneself from the illusion of separation, from the artificial boundaries that confine human consciousness to a limited reality. But these teachings are not just about freeing oneself from control. They are about discovering a deeper, truer connection to the universe. The pineal gland, when activated, opens the doors to profound states of consciousness, allowing us to access intuitive knowledge, spiritual wisdom, and a deeper understanding of the true nature of reality. This is not merely a metaphor. The ancient teachings that activate the pineal gland hold the power to shift perception, to change the way we experience the world, and to reshape the very fabric of our reality. So, what are these forbidden teachings, and how can they unlock the power within you? The answers are hidden in plain sight, scattered across ancient traditions, esoteric teachings, and sacred texts. But as we begin to explore them, one thing becomes clear. Once you learn this ancient code, once you unlock the potential of the pineal gland, reality will no longer be the same. It will bend to you, not because you exert control over it, but because you align yourself with the fundamental forces that govern existence. The ancient code that unlocks your pineal gland is not a one-size-fits-all formula, nor is it a simple set of practices. It is a deep, esoteric understanding of how consciousness interacts with the fabric of reality itself. At its heart lies the notion that what we experience as reality is not fixed, but malleable, shaped by the subtle frequencies of thought, emotion, and energy. The pineal gland is the key to accessing and altering these frequencies, to bending the very nature of reality to our will. But to understand this deeper code, we must first unravel the themes that form its foundation, themes that have been encoded into the myths, teachings, and symbols of ancient wisdom traditions. The first core theme is the relationship between the physical and the spiritual, the seen and the unseen. For millennia, spiritual traditions have spoken of a deeper reality, one that exists beyond the five senses. The material world, they say, is but a projection of this unseen realm, a reflection of higher spiritual truths. The pineal gland, often referred to as a third eye, acts as a bridge between these realms, allowing us to perceive what is beyond the veil of ordinary perception. It is through the pineal gland that we access higher states of consciousness, unlocking the ability to see into other dimensions, connect with our higher self, and receive guidance from the unseen forces of the universe. The physical world, then, is not separate from the spiritual, but rather an expression of it, and the pineal gland serves as the interface through which we access both. The second core theme is the power of perception, how our consciousness shapes the reality we experience. The ancient teachings have always emphasized that reality is not a static, objective thing, but rather a malleable construct shaped by the mind. Our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions act as filters through which we perceive the world, and these filters are influenced by the state of our consciousness. The pineal gland plays a central role in this process, for it is not only the organ responsible for our physical sense of sight, but also the seat of our inner vision, the eye through which we perceive the spiritual dimensions of existence. Once the pineal gland is activated, our perception expands, allowing us to see beyond the surface of things, to glimpse the interconnectedness of all life, and to tune into the subtle energies that flow through the universe. In this way, the ancient code teaches that when we change the way we see the world, we change the world itself. Another foundational concept is the sacred geometry of the universe, the intricate patterns and structures that govern all creation. From the spirals of galaxies to the symmetry of snowflakes, from the rhythm of the seasons to the structure of the human body, sacred geometry is a language of the universe. The ancients knew that by aligning themselves with these geometric patterns, they could tap into the hidden forces of creation. The pineal gland, as a key part of the sacred geometry, resonates with the cosmic patterns that underlie reality. When activated, it allows us to perceive these patterns directly, giving us access to the codes of the universe that shape everything from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. This is why many ancient traditions, from the Egyptians to the Mayans, place such importance on sacred geometry and its connection to spiritual awakening. By attuning the pineal gland to these patterns, we can align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe and unlock the secrets of creation. Energy and frequency are also central to the ancient code. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. From the atoms that make up matter to the thoughts we think, everything is in constant motion, vibrating at a certain rate. The pineal gland is a powerful energy receptor, capable of tuning into these frequencies and allowing us to influence them. In ancient teachings, this concept is often represented by the idea of vibration or frequency, and it is said that by raising our own frequency, we can begin to resonate with higher states of consciousness. The pineal gland acts as a tuning fork, allowing us to shift our vibrational frequency to match the energies of the cosmos. As we raise our frequency, we become more attuned to the higher dimensions of reality, allowing us to access greater wisdom, clarity, and spiritual power. Finally, the activation of the pineal gland itself is the ultimate theme of this ancient code. It is a gateway to unlocking all of the above, connecting the physical and spiritual, expanding perception, attuning to sacred geometry, and raising our vibrational frequency. The pineal gland, however, is not something that can simply be activated by wishful thinking or force. It requires dedication, intention, and a deep understanding of the principles of consciousness. In many ancient traditions, practices such as meditation, breathwork, chanting, and fasting were used to activate the pineal gland, opening it up to the higher dimensions of reality. The process is gradual, often requiring years of inner work to attune the mind and body to the subtle energies that influence the pineal gland. But once it is activated, It becomes the key to accessing the deepest mysteries of the universe and unlocking the full potential of human consciousness. In understanding these core themes, we begin to see that the pineal gland is not just an organ, but a sacred tool, an ancient key that has been hidden from us for centuries, waiting to be unlocked. Once activated, it holds the power to shift our perception, raise our vibration, and connect us to the higher realms of existence. It is through this understanding that we begin to see the world not as a static, unchanging place, but as a malleable, dynamic projection that bends to our consciousness. The ancient teachings surrounding the pineal gland are not merely intellectual concepts, but living symbols, etched in stories that have been passed down through countless generations. These myths, rituals, and allegories were never meant to be interpreted literally. They were meant to point toward deeper, hidden truths. They were the code that could only be deciphered when one was ready, when one had attuned themselves to the rhythm of the universe, and was prepared to see beyond the surface of the world. Through these stories, the power of the pineal gland was encoded, its mysteries veiled in symbolism, waiting for those with the eyes to see. Take, for instance, the myth of the Eye of Horus, a symbol that has long been associated with the pineal gland. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Horus was a god of the sky, often depicted as a falcon or a man with a falcon's head. The story tells of Horus losing his left eye in a battle with his uncle Set, the god of chaos. However, Horus' eye is eventually restored, symbolizing healing and wholeness. The restored eye, known as the Eye of Horus, came to symbolize insight, spiritual vision, and protection. On a deeper level, this story is not just about the physical, but the inner eye, the third eye, the pineal gland. The ancient Egyptians understood that true vision came not from the external senses, but from the awakening of the pineal gland, the seat of spiritual sight. In this sense, the myth of Horus' eye is an allegory for the journey of awakening, the path that leads to the activation of the pineal gland and the vision that comes from it. Similarly, the ancient Greeks spoke of the god Apollo, who was associated with both the sun and enlightenment. Apollo's symbol was a radiant sun, which is also tied to the concept of illumination, the inner light of consciousness that, when fully awakened, reveals the true nature of reality. In many ways, Apollo's light parallels the activation of the pineal gland, which has long been seen as the gateway to higher consciousness. Just as the sun illuminates the world, so too does the awakening of the pineal gland illuminate the hidden aspects of existence. The sun is not merely an external object, but a symbol of the light that resides within us, the light that can only be accessed when the pineal gland is activated. Apollo's chariot, which rides across the sky, is a journey of the soul moving from darkness into light, from ignorance into knowledge. This journey, too, is a journey of awakening the pineal gland. In Hinduism, the third eye is referred to as the Ajna chakra, often depicted as a lotus flower located between the eyebrows, symbolizing intuition, perception, and spiritual awakening. The Ajna chakra is often described as the center of higher wisdom, the place where the individual can access deep, universal truths. This concept closely mirrors the teachings around the pineal gland, which, when activated, allows one to tap into higher states of consciousness. In many yoga traditions, practices such as meditation and breathwork are designed to awaken this third eye, allowing the practitioner to see beyond the veil of ordinary perception. The lotus flower represents the unfolding of consciousness, with each petal symbolizing a deeper layer of spiritual insight. In this context, the activation of the pineal gland is seen as the blossoming of the inner lotus, the awakening of the intuitive, spiritual eye that allows us to see the world not as it appears, but as it truly is. The symbolic narratives don't stop with ancient mythologies. The story of the philosopher's stone, central to alchemical traditions, also carries deep connections to the activation of the pineal gland. In alchemy, the philosopher's stone was believed to hold the power to transmute base metals into gold, but its true meaning went far beyond material wealth. It symbolized the transmutation of the self, the process of turning spiritual ignorance into enlightenment. In many ways, the philosopher's stone is a metaphor for the awakening of the pineal gland, which allows one to transmute the ordinary, mundane experience of life into something extraordinary, a higher level of consciousness, a more profound connection to the universe. Just as the alchemists sought to refine substances into their purest form, So too does the awakening of the pineal gland refine consciousness, transmuting the limited perceptions of the world into a deeper understanding of reality. Finally, there's the mystical concept of the inner light, a theme found in nearly every spiritual tradition, from Christianity to Kabbalah to Taoism. In many mystical teachings, the inner light is said to be the spark of divinity that resides within each person. This light is often hidden beneath layers of ego, conditioning, and fear, but once awakened, it illuminates the true nature of the self and the universe. The pineal gland, in its role as a third eye, is seen as the receptor of this inner light, allowing one to perceive the hidden dimensions of existence. This light, when activated, dispels the darkness of ignorance and reveals the interconnectedness of all things. Just as a single flame can light a room, so too can the awakening of the pineal gland bring clarity and understanding to the darkness of the mind. These symbolic narratives, woven into the fabric of human culture, speak to the same profound truth. The pineal gland is not just a physical organ. It is a gateway, a key, a bridge between the material and the spiritual. To awaken the pineal gland is to awaken to the deeper mysteries of life, to transcend the limitations of the physical senses and see beyond the veil of ordinary perception. Through these stories, the ancient teachings encoded the knowledge that the activation of the pineal gland is not just a personal transformation. It is a spiritual awakening, a return to the divine light within us all. The ancient teachings that unlock the pineal gland are not just philosophical musings, nor are they meant to remain confined to the realms of theory and mysticism. Their true power lies in how they are integrated into daily life, in how they shift the very fabric of how we experience and interact with the world. To awaken the pineal gland is not merely to access higher states of consciousness, but to transform the very nature of one's existence, to live with a new sense of clarity, purpose, and connection. The first practical implication of unlocking the pineal gland is the evolution of perception. Once the pineal is activated, the way you experience reality shifts. Colors seem more vibrant, sounds more resonant, and even the seemingly mundane can take on new layers of meaning. The ancient world understood that the pineal gland is the gateway to higher perception, to the inner light that illuminates everything. When you awaken it, you stop seeing the world only through the lens of the physical senses and begin to perceive the energetic and spiritual dimensions that underlie everything. For instance, the act of looking at a tree can go from being a simple sensory experience, seeing the bark, leaves, and branches, to something much deeper. When the pineal gland is activated, you might find yourself sensing the tree's energy, its connection to the earth, and an invisible life force that courses through it. The tree is no longer just an object to be observed. It is a living, breathing expression of the universe. In this state of perception, you begin to see the interconnectedness of all things, not as an abstract idea, but as a lived, visceral reality. This shift in perception is not merely about seeing more clearly in the traditional sense, but about seeing the world in its full, multidimensional complexity. This evolution of perception also changes how you experience people and relationships. When you are able to access the deeper layers of reality, you begin to sense the energies, emotions, and intentions of others more acutely. The surface-level interactions that once dominated your life, small talk, social pleasantries, surface-level judgments, fall away, and you begin to see people for who they truly are. You can sense their fears, desires, pain, and joy, even when they are not explicitly expressed. This heightened intuition is a direct result of the pineal gland's activation. But with this heightened perception comes a deepening sense of responsibility. Once you realize that you are perceiving not just the physical reality, but also the energy beneath it, you become more attuned to the impact of your own thoughts, words, and actions. You understand that your energy interacts with the world around you, and that your inner state creates ripples in the collective consciousness. If you are not consciously aware of this, it can become overwhelming. But when you embrace this responsibility, you begin to see that every moment offers an opportunity to shift your energy and, by extension, shift the world around you. The teachings that unlock the pineal gland are not just about personal gain. They are about alignment with the greater good, with the interconnected web of all life. The next practical implication is the unlocking of inner wisdom. The pineal gland is not only the seat of higher perception, but also the center of your intuition, the wellspring of your inner knowing. When activated, It connects you to a deeper source of knowledge, one that is not based on intellect, but on direct experience. You stop relying solely on external authorities, books, teachers, societal norms, and begin to trust your own inner guidance. This is not a process of intellectual thought. It is an intuitive knowing that comes from deep within your being. The more you align with this inner wisdom, the more you find that life becomes a series of synchronistic events, each one guiding you to the next step on your path. This intuitive knowledge is not limited to personal growth. It extends your ability to navigate the world and make decisions that are in harmony with your highest purpose. When you activate the pineal gland, you gain access to a greater understanding of your life's purpose, of the path you are meant to walk. The decisions you make, big or small, are no longer based on fear, scarcity, or external pressure, but on an inner knowing that aligns with the deeper currents of the universe. A more profound implication of unlocking the pineal gland is the shift in your relationship to time and space. The pineal gland is said to be involved in our perception of time, and its activation allows for a more fluid experience of reality. What this means is that you no longer experience time as rigid, linear, or bound to external markers. Instead, time becomes more like a fluid wave, something you can move with rather than be trapped by. You begin to notice moments of timelessness, where past, present, and future collapse into a singular experience. This collapse of time is not merely a philosophical idea. It is a lived experience. When you awaken the pineal gland, your relationship to time shifts, and you begin to experience reality not as a series of sequential events, but as a single, unified whole. This shift also extends to your perception of space. The world no longer feels like a collection of separate objects and events. Instead, you begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. You no longer experience distance as a physical separation, but as an energetic one. In this state of awareness, you realize that everything is connected, that the distance between you and another person or you and an object is merely an illusion. This expanded sense of space is a direct result of the pineal gland's activation, as it opens you to the deeper, invisible dimensions of reality. Finally, one of the most profound practical implications of unlocking the pineal gland is the activation of healing potential. When the pineal is activated, it opens up pathways for healing on every level, physical, emotional, and spiritual. The pineal gland is directly connected to the brain's production of melatonin and serotonin, both of which influence mood, sleep, and healing processes. But beyond the physical, the pineal gland's activation allows you to access healing energy that transcends the limitations of the body. You can begin to tap into universal healing energies, working with your body's natural ability to heal itself. In this way, the pineal gland serves not only as a receptor of higher consciousness, but also as a conduit for healing and regeneration. These practical implications are not hypothetical or wishful thinking. They are the result of a profound shift in consciousness, a shift that occurs when you activate the pineal gland and begin to align with the ancient code that has been hidden for centuries. It is a shift in how you perceive the world, how you relate to others, how you understand time and space, and how you connect with the deepest parts of yourself. The teachings that unlock the pineal gland are not merely knowledge to be understood. They are an invitation to live differently, to perceive the world not as a static, unchanging reality, but as a dynamic, malleable projection that bends to the consciousness behind it. Once you learn to activate and align with the pineal gland, your entire experience of life transforms. Everything from the mundane to profound becomes an unfolding revelation, a harmonious dance between the inner and outer realms. As you come to understand the pineal gland's role in shaping perception, you begin to recognize that reality is not something external, but something co-created. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are not simply reactions to the world around you. They are the lens through which you experience everything. The pineal gland, as the seat of spiritual insight and higher consciousness, becomes the organ that bridges the gap between your inner world and the greater universe. It allows you to not only see beyond the surface of things, but to feel the energetic patterns and frequencies that govern existence. This is where the ancient code becomes active within you. Once you learn it, once you awaken the pineal gland and unlock the door to higher consciousness, you begin to understand the fluidity of reality itself. You stop seeing the world as a series of disconnected events and start perceiving it as a vast, interconnected web of energy, possibility, and meaning. Time no longer feels rigid and linear, but expansive and malleable. The people you encounter, the events that unfold in your life, the synchronicities that seem to appear out of nowhere, all become part of a deeper, unfolding pattern that you are consciously co-creating. The power of this awareness is profound, but it is not just about personal empowerment. It is about aligning with a greater universal flow. The ancients understood that when an individual attunes themselves to the rhythms of the cosmos, they not only unlock their own potential, but become conduits for universal forces. The pineal gland, as the gateway to higher consciousness, is the key to accessing these forces and bringing them into harmony with your daily life. When you begin to live with this awareness, you see that you are not a passive observer of life, but an active participant in its creation. Every thought, every emotion, every action ripples out into the fabric of existence, shaping the world in ways that may seem subtle, but profoundly transformative. As you align with the ancient teachings of the pineal gland, you start to experience life as a creative act, a constant unfolding of possibilities and opportunities. You become the artist of your own reality, able to mold it with intention, clarity, and purpose. The transformational call is simple: awaken to the power within you and step into your role as a conscious co-creator of reality. It is not enough to learn about the pineal gland and its potential. You must live it, activate it through practices that align your inner vision with your external world. Meditate, breathe deeply, nourish your body, and engage with the world around you with an open heart and mind. The more you attune yourself to the higher frequencies of consciousness, the more reality bends to your will. Not because you are imposing your will on it, but because you are aligning yourself with the flow of universal energy. There is no need to wait for a dramatic event or grand revelation. The activation of the pineal gland is not something that happens overnight, but a gradual process of awakening. The more you practice, the clearer your perception becomes, and the more you begin to see how the world is shaped by your consciousness. Slowly but surely, the barriers between the seen and the unseen dissolve, and you begin to see the world not as a random collection of events, but as a finely tuned symphony in which you play a central role. In this way, the forbidden teachings of the pineal gland are not simply about accessing hidden knowledge. They are about embodying that knowledge and using it to shape the world around you. As you awaken to your true potential, you come to realize that the power to bend reality has always been within you, waiting to be unlocked. You are not separate from the universe. You are a part of it, and as you awaken the pineal gland, you tap into the greater cosmic intelligence that governs all things. The time has come to step into your power. You no longer need to live as a passive observer of life, reacting to its events and circumstances. Instead, you can step into your role as a conscious creator, shaping the world with intention, love, and clarity. The teachings that unlock your pineal gland have been kept secret for centuries, but they are no longer hidden. The door is open and the path is clear. All that is left is for you to walk it. Once you learn this ancient code, once you unlock the power of the pineal gland, reality will indeed bend to you. Not because you control it, but because you are aligned with the deeper forces that govern all things. This is the power of true awakening, to see the world as it truly is and to shape it from the inside out. The choice is yours. Will you remain trapped in illusion, or will you awaken to truth and unlock the hidden power within you? The door is open. Step through and begin to bend reality to your will.